Welcome back to Student Hub Live. This session is called Words Make Worlds, the power of language learning. And aside from the rugby, we've been having a great chat about learning languages and visiting different countries. And I'm joined by Mara, who is the head of Spanish at the Open University. She's taught all of the Spanish modules at the OU and is currently in charge of producing a level 3 Spanish module. And her research area of expertise is in Spanish language teaching. So we have some fun widgets here that Mara has prepared for you. So could you fill those in? These are multi-choice questions. So do you think the world would be better if everyone spoke the same language? What languages do you speak? Remember, we've got to put 3 things in or the results won't send. But if you can't think of 3, or if you don't speak 3, just put a full stop in. And also, what do you think the most difficult bits of learning a language are? So Mara, that's a great question, huh? Wouldn't it be easier if everyone spoke the same language? And what is the benefit of speaking more than one language? What are your thoughts on this?
Okay, so I'm going to reply back with another question. Do you think it's actually possible to have a word with just one language? So is it really possible for everyone in the world to speak the same common language? And the answer is no. Because
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you think about it, across history, all the moments where there has been a situation when it was possible, for people to speak the same language, what has happened is that that language has fragmented into different dialects that have eventually become new languages themselves. So, for example, it happened with Latin. And then Spanish arose, French arose, Italian arose, and it would potentially could happen to English as well if English became, an international language. If you think about it, there are many different varieties of English spoken across the world, and if everybody started speaking English, which seems the best candidate at the moment to become the world language, little by little, those local differences would become bigger and bigger, and eventually wouldn't be understandable among themselves and would become different languages themselves. And also, on top of being impossible, wouldn't it be boring? What do you think? I mean, cultures will be lost, and we wouldn't get a lot of benefits, that we actually get when we do speak different languages and we get in touch with the cultures that are attached to those languages. So I don't think so.
No. Well, we can't even agree in the UK on one single name for a bread roll. So I think that the chances of one language, as you say, interspersing and having those sort of natural dialects, it just seems to be something that's very innate. What are the benefits then of speaking more than one language? I mean, what do you think multiculturalism, this idea of having more than one language, but not only language, but an understanding of culture, can do for people and their communities and society more generally?
Yeah, so first of all, I mean, there are many benefits of speaking, another additional languages on top of your native language or languages. So first of all, there are known cognitive benefits to yourself. So it helps with mental health. It helps with working memory development, for example, and also there are social benefits, such as, for example, getting a better salary, a better employment, understanding your own culture as well, because when you compare two cultures and two languages, you go deeper into your own culture and your own language as well. So there are all sorts of benefits, to attach to speaking additional languages. And on top of that, you have to think, Karen, that the world is actually multilingual. So multilingualism is actually the norm in the world, and more than half of the population speak a different language. And in fact, it's interesting to think, why would you learn another language? What would be your ulterior motives, to start learning a language? And there are tons of reasons why you would do that. And in my experience as, a lecturer at the Open University, students start learning languages for a variety of reasons, all of them as valid. So, for example, some students decide they want to change in their career and they would love to somehow, do something different. They would like to travel the world, work in a different country, for example, or some others just find the love of their lives, and for personal reasons, they just start learning a different languages. But if you think about it, all of them are very positive motives to learn languages, and all of them provide you with plenty of benefits and plenty of, reasons to do it over and over again. So, and if you think about it, all of us are sort of multilingual in the making, because at the moment it's very difficult to find someone who only interacts in one particular language. So as I say, there are plenty of benefits and plenty of reasons why learning a language is beneficial for you and for your community and for the world in general. Mm-hmm.
Mara, we started this session by asking people the same question we asked you about would the world be a better place if everybody spoke the same language? And we can see here that our audience at home said, no, it would not be a better place. But we also asked them what sorts of languages they speak. And I think you'll be quite surprised here to see the range of things that people are speaking at home here. So let's take a look to see what's come here. So interesting things here, English being the main one, French being the second one,
Mm-hmm.
Australian, Pidgin German, minimal French, Russian, Gujarati, German badly. Toddlers speak a very interesting language and very, very important.
Yeah.
Polish, double Dutch, Norwegian slightly, no, small amount of French, Gaelic, Brazilian, Portuguese, bits of Spanish. So there's lots and lots of different things going on here in terms of what things people are talking about. I wonder if we can end by thinking about the difficult bits of learning a language. And I guess this sort of really leads me to question, how they might be doing this at the Open University also. So what are the most challenging parts of learning a new language?
Okay, so we have a widget coming about this question, but I'm going to act like a little bit like a witch here, and I'm going to predict what is going to come up, and perhaps we'll
I can show you if you'd like to know.
Yeah, because
I can show you.
I'm curious.
Go on then,
but
let's see.
Can I make a guess? Maybe pronunciation, grammar?
Okay, let's see what people at home had to say. So this is what we asked you about and how you responded. So grammar, pronunciation, culture, understanding, pronunciation coming through quite a lot here, but also things like finding the time and the accent, the slang words as well, the different dialects, male and female words, remembering the phrases, listening to the natives. So lots of different issues here, I think. How can you respond to this, Mara?
So it's interesting that everything that has come up is linked to language as an instrument of communication, if you like, which is a very important function of language, if you like. But on top of that, is it that important if we make a mistake related to a tense? My pronunciation hasn't been perfect during this chat, but did you manage to understand me? So the point that I want to make here is that we need to demystify, these topics as the most difficult bits to learn about a language, and we need to focus on the power that languages have to shape the world and to make words. Because if you think about it, languages are more than grammar, languages are more than vocabulary, more than pronunciation. They are actually like a material and a historical force to understand the world we live in. And that is a way we like to teach languages at the Open University, as a tool to shape our personal and social identities, if you like, and that really empowers us to be culturally aware of the differences and the richness of the cultures and languages of the world. So on top of discussing grammar points, supporting on learning vocabulary and perfectioning your pronunciation. We present your languages as a cultural product, if you like, from the societies that speak that particular language, and that is our idea, to because learning a language means more than mastering grammar, mastering vocabulary, mastering pronunciation, but is the historicity and the importance of the concepts and of the conception of the world, what matter to us as well, and what makes us, as I say, culturally aware of what we are and what how the world is made,
That's
basically.
wonderful. Thank you so much, Mara. And everyone in the chat thinks you have a wonderful accent. I could listen to it all day, but unfortunately
Oh,
we can't. We
thank
don't have
you.
time for any more, as often the case here at Student Hub Live. So we're going to have another campus tour. I know many of you have said when this virus and restrictions are over, you'd love to visit the campus. We'd so love to have you there. We'd love to be back there also. But isn't it wonderful that we can connect online? And so many people will never go to campus, but that's not really where the heart of the Open University is. And it's so nice to be able to share experiences online and have a virtual cup of coffee with you all here today. So let's do another campus tour, and then we're going to talk about changing lives around the world in our next session. So don't go away. See you in a minute.